Hi guys, Darth Deuces here with another Marvel Legends figure review. Taking a look at the Toys R Us exclusive 3-pack of Avengers Infinity War, Thor, Racoon, and Groot. This is a set I've been wanting since since it came out, but after I saw the movie, I've been wanting it even more because this is the trio I've been wanting a lot. I've been wanting to photograph these three together. So pretty cool to get this. I actually got it on sale because I really wasn't feeling it at retail price. I don't feel most of the Marvel Legends packs are worth at retail price. And it's usually good not to get them at retail price anyways, because unless it's like the Hydra pack, they always go on sale. And there's always a bunch of them because they're usually stocked well. So I picked it up at a sale price, not like an insane sale. I only got maybe like close to $20 off. It was a reasonable price, a more fair price than the original price. Anyways, let's take a look at this. It is a Toys R Us exclusive. Can't remember if stores in the States got this at Toys R Us before they closed down or not, but we still have Toys R Us down here in Canada, and this is exclusive there. You got the sticker, you got the figures displayed there, you got the purple for the Avengers Infinity War, Thor, Racoon, and Groot. I have enough Thors, but I'm always happy to add another one. I actually like to look at this one a lot. I actually don't have a Racoon. I never got the previous one, so I'm happy to have that. And I don't have a Groot, and I like this version of Groot. So, anyways, you got an image of Groot and Rocket on the side, which looks really good. You got an image of Thor looking badass. Flipping around the back, you got a pretty cool product shot of all three figures. And then you got a thing that just says, when a blaster-toting raccoon, a teenage tree, and an Asgardian god get together, the journey is sure to be out of this world. Honestly, these three together was some of my favorite parts of the movie. I love them together. They were awesome. Which is why I want this set. So, I'm going to crack open this set and we'll take a closer look at all the figures. Alright, so starting off with the first figure, we're going to talk about Rocket first. He's the only figure that's not new in this set, or not completely new in this set. He's pretty much completely the same as the previous Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 Rocket. I think he might be a slight repaint, and the head sculpt is different. The Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 Rocket actually had an open mouth. He was kind of yelling. This one's just closed. So that is kind of cool that they changed that, at least make it a bit different from that figure. This figure's pretty small. Obviously, like he should be. He's a small character. This set retails for $70 in Canada, and that's not including tax. So I guess one of my issues was why I didn't pick it up at full price is because this guy's really small, and Groot's not a full-size figure. He's slightly smaller than your average 6-inch scale figure, so paying $70 for two smaller figures isn't exactly what I wanted to do, so it's good it went on sale. But this figure's cool. I mean, if you've been collecting MCU figures for a while now, there's a good chance you have this figure already. So this will probably be the one you're looking least forward to. But I don't have a Racoon figure, so I'm happy to have it. And he's got some nice paint apps, and the sculpting of the his fur and everything looks really good. His little jumpsuit or whatever looks really nice. So I got like knee pads, and then got the black paint apps. And the sculpting of the fabric looks good. Got some silver paint apps there. Tail looks great. It's got the slightly darker stripes for a raccoon. He's got these little toenails are sculpted there, which is cool as well. And it's a good looking figure. The eyes look good. I like that. So, yeah, I like it. Looks pretty good. In terms of articulation, this figure's actually pretty well articulated for how small he is. Which makes me, I know a lot of people are saying, like that newer Venom Wave Spider-Ham doesn't have nearly as much articulation as this figure does, and he easily could have had more articulation, because this one's pretty good. He has a ball joint head, no hinge though, so you're pretty much only getting rotation because of the sculpt, not really much up and down movement. Ball hinges in the shoulders move good, single ball hinges in the elbows, and swivels at the wrists. A ball joint in the torso, which doesn't really crunch and barely goes back, but it does give you rotation and slight pivot. The tail is articulated at one point at the base, so you can up and down and rotate, so that's pretty cool. You also get ball joints hips to move out pretty well, kick out pretty good. Swivels at the thighs, single hinge, ball hinge at the knee, which bends pretty decently, and you do get a swivel at the ankle. So you get some good articulation on this figure. You can get Rocket in some decent poses. Probably actually more articulation than I would have expected him to have. So that's really cool. He's a nice little figure. I'll do some quick size comparison with this figure. Just with the Infinity War Iron Man. Iron Man's much taller than him, obviously. And then just for fun, here he is next to big ol' Thanos. And Thanos is huge next to him, as you can see. So, that's cool. I like that. And I will talk about his accessories later. I'm going to cover all the accessories that come in this wave after I've looked at all the figures. So, that is Rocket. Good little figure. But again, you're not going to be too excited for it if you already have it. So now we'll move on to Groot. So here we have Groot. This is the teenage Groot that is in the movie. And yeah, in this movie he wasn't a teenager in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Yeah, this is a really cool figure as well. I don't own a Groot. I just never got around to picking one up. I wouldn't mind getting the first Guardians of the Galaxy Groot. But this one's really cool. And I liked Groot in Infinity War. He was cool. And I like the head sculpt. Looks pretty nice. He's got sort of the scowl, teenager scowl going on. The eyes look pretty good. With the gold and the black, looks nice. He's got a little piece of grass or something growing out of his head. You can see this green there and whatnot. And he's got green around the head. Looks really cool. And he got all the nice sculpted detail to simulate wood and whatnot. And he got some green paint for like moss, I guess. So that's pretty cool. And aside from that, there's not a whole lot painted. Mainly molded in brown with a bit of green here and there for simulating like moss and growth on them. So that's pretty cool. But you got a lot of really nice skull detail. The hands look good. He's got a bit of I guess teenager slouch going on, which is also pretty cool. That they were able to capture that. And the feet look good as well, with 2 pegals at the bottom of the feet, and they even sculpted some detail on the bottom of the feet as well. So that's also really cool. There's not a whole lot to talk about. You just take a look at it and you just see it looks pretty good. I do like it. In terms of articulation, he's a bit more limited than your average Marvel Legends. We do have a ball joint in the head as well as a hinge, so you can move it up pretty good. You move it down all the way, rotate. Not really much pivot. Ball hinges at the shoulders. Ball hinges at the elbow, which move just to about 90 degrees, and they rotate there as well. Ball hinges at the wrist, move good. Ball joint at the torso, goes back a decent amount. Just goes forward a bit. Pivots some and rotates, so that's good. Ball hinges at the hips, which have pretty good spread. Kick out pretty good. Single hinge at the knee, which moves all right. And hinge at the ankle, which is somewhat tight, but it does move back. And it does move forward just a little bit, and you do get some pivot. So he's not super articulated and doesn't have as much articulation as your average Marvel Legends, but he's still decently articulated. You're going to get some decent poses out of him. Again, I'll cover accessories overall for the pack when I get over every figure, but just for some size comparison, here he is next to the Rocket in this pack, and the Rocket's still significantly smaller than Groot, so that's cool. Here he is with Iron Man. Iron Man's a bit bigger than him, so I think that scales well. And again, here he is next to Thanos. And Thanos is significantly bigger, obviously. So that's it for Groot. I think my only real complaint with this figure, well, aside from he could have probably had a bit more articulation. I think they skimmed out just a little bit there. Also, you'll see his accessories later, but he doesn't come with any interchangeable parts. I think another head sculpt might have been nice. I don't know, it would have been cool, though I guess it's not really necessary. What it would have been really cool if they added some alternate hands. They had kind of like his vine hands kind of going on. That would have been really cool if they did that, but not a huge deal. Anyways, that's the Teenage Groot figure. Now we'll move on to the final figure in the pack, Thor. So here is the Thor figure, and I have 2 other MCU Thors. I have the Ragnarok Gladiator Thor, and I have the Infinity War Wave 2 Thor. And Just going forward, if I accidentally say that this figure uses parts from the Infinity War Wave 2 Thor, I actually mean that the Infinity War Wave 2 figure uses parts from this figure, because this figure came first. But yeah, I already got 2 other Thors, and usually I get one version of a character for the most part, and for the most part I'm usually pretty good, especially with the Infinity War Thor. But I like having this version of him as well, because he was this version a lot during most of the movie. And I like how this looks. There's some elements to this which I actually prefer over the Infinity War Wave 2 Thor. So let's get into it. First of which is the head sculpt, which is, it's pretty good. It's very similar to the Infinity War Wave 2 Thor. But I think it's actually better. A bit better. I think I like this one just a bit better. They both, I don't think, look exactly like Hemsworth, but I think this one looks just a bit more, I guess. I just had the scars sculpted on the side. That was really cool. I think the hair is also painted and sculpted really nicely. This one has a bit of a darker, or more of a wash applied to it than the other one does, but I think it looks good. I think the face looks pretty decent. Lips look good, and the facial hair looks pretty good. And at certain angles, I think it does look a lot like Chris Hemsworth, but full on, it's a little off. I really do like the eye patch look, though. The eye patch does have, it's really hard to tell. It does have some cracking going on the side, some scratches or something, I think. Or that might just be design engravings, I'm not sure. But it looks really good. I like the eye patch look. I kind of wish that he kept the eye patch throughout the whole movie. And then on this side, he actually has a silvered out eye with like lightning crackling on the edges, which it looks really cool. I like that a lot. I almost kind of wish they used this look or you did this with the eyes on the Infinity War Wave 2 Thor. I think that actually would have made more sense, but this looks really good. I like that a lot. These head sculpts are also so similar where I'm pretty sure if you wanted to, you could pop this head off and put it on the Infinity War Thor if you wanted to. I think it'd work out. But yeah, I like the head sculpt. I think it is better than the Infinity War Wave 2 Thor. The rest of the body, the Infinity War Wave 2 Thor reuses these hands, reuses these van braces, or bracers, reuses this torso, except for maybe the upper part, and definitely reuses the legs. So the only thing that's different on this figure, well, aside from paint, is that these arms, this one has the bare arms as opposed to the metal armor-looking arms. And those look good. They got some veins sculpted there, and the muscle definition, I think, looks good. And these bracers do look good as well. I like the torso. He's just got the black sort of, I guess, vest thingy. And not really much paint detail. It's just basically molded in this black. But you do have some paint detail. It's the silver, and you got this lightning crackling paint going on. I think that looks really cool. I like how that looks a lot. I think that looks pretty cool. And you got the pants. The pants nicely sculpted, simulate fabric, obviously. That looks pretty good. The number isn't too obvious, so that's nice. And the boots also look really good. You got a really subtle sort of bronzish dry brush on the front of these, similar to the Infinity War Thor, but not nearly as obvious. So that's cool. And you got some silver paint apps there. You got the shoes or the boots. You got the edges of the treads sculpted there. So it's a pretty good looking Thor figure. I like it. I like how it looks. I think I might like it more than the Ragnarok Gladiator Thor, but I think overall I still prefer the look of the Infinity War Wave 2 Thor, but I do prefer this head sculpt. In terms of articulation, he has a ball joint in the head. Not really much pivot, but you get the rotation. You can look all the way up, look all the way down. Ball hinge at the shoulders, which are a bit tight to actually get to go up. I would be careful. You don't want to break them, but they can go all the way up and can go all the way down to his sides there. He has swivel at the bicep. Double hinge the elbows to move really well. If you move it up, you can get them all the way curled in, which is really good. Rotation and hinge inward. So that's good. It's a little tight, but it's not too bad. A ball joint torso moves back quite far, crunches forward decently, pivots quite a bit, and rotates, so that's good. No waist swivel. Ball hinge in the hips. They go out like that. Swivel at the thighs. Double hinges at the knees to move pretty good. No boot cut, and then hinges at the ankles with rocker joints. So pretty good articulation. One thing I do notice on my Infinity War Thor is that the leg, hips, joints, they're not like super loose, but they're kind of like, they like to go forward and back kind of easily. This one doesn't have that problem, so I do like that. And so overall, really cool. Do some quick size comparisons. I guess I'll do the rest of the figures in this set first. So here he is with Sweet Rabbit. And here he is with his good friend Tree. And I think the size difference between these figures is really good. This looks pretty good. I'm happy with how this looks. Moving these guys aside for a minute. Just with some other figures. Here he is next to Iron Man. He's just a bit taller than Iron Man. So I think he should actually be just slightly bigger. But I think it still works good. And here he is with Thanos. And Thanos is about a head taller than him. So I think that looks good. I like that. So now I'll talk about the accessories for all the figures. They all come with some accessories. So that's good. Let's talk about Groot's first. He just comes with one accessory. He comes with this little video game, which is cool. Video game player. I have no idea what kind of game he's playing, but it's just molded in this translucent blue flexible plastic, but it does have black paint on the edges to kind of simulate the game system. And then you got the screen there. It's got silver and purple dots on it. So that's pretty cool. Simulate some sort of game. I don't know what he's playing or anything. But you can get him to hold that, I think. Yeah, you can get him holding it, and he holds it, tightly. He's not going to let go of it. You can get him looking like he's playing it. So that's pretty cool. I like that. And that's the only accessories. Like I said, that's the only accessory he comes with. Again, I would like some interchangeable hands, but not a big deal. Rocket comes with the most amount of accessories. He comes with, I'm pretty sure, the same two guns he came with in his Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 release. You get this little pistol, just molded in silver plastic, got like the triple barrel going on. So that's cool. And he also has this pistol, which looks a lot like Han Solo's blaster to me. But that's cool as well. He's got trigger fingers on both the hands. You can just put them right on in his hands. And I think both these guns look good in his hands. Not a pain in the ass to get them in his hands either, so that is a good thing. I do kind of wish he had gun storage on his person, but he's already so small where I'm just going to forgive it. But these look really cool. He looks cool holding those. Can't remember if he used these in the Infinity War movie or not. I don't think he did, because he used his other accessory. He comes with 3 guns. He has those 2 guns, and then he comes with this honking big rifle here, which looks like it should be used like Thor or someone, but it's molded in, again, the silver plastic. A bit pliable. It does have some of this bronze paint detailing in the middle there. This gun I'm pretty sure he did use in the movie. A little hard to get Rocket to hold this one because it's so big. Especially getting him to hold it in a two-handed pose. Holy hell. Can kind of get him holding it over here, and you gotta have to finagle it a bit, and I don't even know if you're gonna be able to get a good aiming pose out of it, but you can get him holding it. There you go, I got him holding it. It's huge. You're gonna have to probably play with him a bit to get him to stand properly because it's heavy on him. Probably use his tail actually as a stand. What am I doing? I'm not even... Yeah, you can use his tail to stand him. And, you can stand, hold the big gun. Looks good. This is the gun he uses, so I like that. I'll put him there. And then, for Thor, he could have easily came with no accessories. They did decide to include the Heimdall sword that we first saw with the Thor and the Valkyrie Thor Ragnarok 2-pack. This one has a more black dry brushed blade. You do really nice sculpt detail on the hilt, though. Got brown for the handle, this gold for the hilt. The blade is really nice. Quite a large sword. It's almost as tall as Thor. I'm not 100% sure why they like to include Heimdall's sword with Thor figures. I don't think he used it in Ragnarok, and I'm pretty sure he didn't use it in Infinity War. But I am still like that they include it nonetheless. I don't have Heimdall's sword as an accessory because I didn't get that 2-pack, so I'm happy to have it. And Thor does look cool using it. If anything, I wish he did use it in the movies. I think it would have looked really cool to have Thor wielding Heimdall's sword while he was trying to get his Stormbreaker made or whatever. I think that would have been really cool, but either way, that's cool, and you can get them hold that. Obviously, the hands are not as pliable as I'd like them to be, but there we go, got them in there. And you got him holding Heimdall's sword, and you get holding over his shoulder, because of those nice double hinges in the elbows, and do a lot of stuff. That looks really cool. So overall, I think this 3-pack is a really cool 3-pack. I think it's one of the better 3-packs. I think it's one of the best of the movie 3-packs they've done recently. And I think if you're a fan of Infinity War, I don't think I'd pay full price for this. If you can get this on sale, 100% would recommend it. It's a really cool set with some really cool figures, especially if you're a fan of Thor, which I am. So, awesome set. I highly recommend picking it up. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I will see you all in the next video.